What triggered me to do a podcast today on fasting is my recent experience. 3 months ago, I was not in great shape. I was feeling a little overwhelmed at work. I have really not been able to do any significant progress on my fitness for last many years, and I was feeling a lot of just mental stress for a variety of things. One of the tools that I have found very useful for me in the past, what I call grand gesture. Grand gesture is just doing something significant out of ordinary. For example, there was a time many years ago I decided to try to walk nearly all day. I walk for 30,000 days. There's a time in my earlier in my entrepreneurial career where sometime I'll pull all nighters. These are, it's not that walking 30,000 steps or walking or working overnight is going to do anything profound, but it gives you that feedback that you can do something challenging, and it helps you break out of your funk. So with that thought process, I decided to just not eat for a day. No game plan. And in fact, this is on the back of pretty troubled history with respect to fasting. As a health enthusiast and fitness enthusiast, I've always known fasting can be profoundly impactful, but it hasn't come easy for me. Eventually, I've settled into some kind of intermittent fasting diet. But on this particular day, it's roughly 10 weeks ago, I decided that I'm going to try to not eat for 24 hours. Now, it was obviously very painful. I struggled throughout the day. I kept having lemon salt water to keep myself hydrated and have some electrolytes in the body. But somehow I finished those 24 hours and felt amazing. And obviously, the meal I had was one of the tastiest meal for the long period. And I thought I was kind of done with that. But next morning, I wanted to see if I can challenge myself and do the same thing again. I pushed through, managed to do fast for another 24 hours, and then I ended up doing it for next 4 or 5 days. And while it was very, very difficult, but having done something difficult, I started feeling pretty good about mentally, as well as I could feel that I'm starting to get a little more focus in the work. And then I decided to see if, okay, let me, it's not that difficult. Can I continue with this for next 5 6 weeks? Not one meal a day, but more like one proper meal a day and about half a meal. So the protocol I followed was about half a meal at 10 a.m. and a full meal at 4 p.m. And that's it. Not touching any food, anything. Only thing I'll have outside of this window is some black coffee in the morning. And what happened after a couple of weeks, I started to get into ketosis state. What is ketosis state is when your body starts to burn fat for fuel. You start to feel very energetic, uh, highly focused, and I started enjoying my feeling. So I continued for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, I did my regular blood work, which I typically do every 3 months. And when the numbers came back, it absolutely shocked me. Some of the markers I track, for example, my HB1AC, which has always been on the borderline pre-diabetic, dropped by zero point 0.4 points from 5.8 to 5.4. My cholesterol, which is, most of us in India have bad cholesterol, and I've been on statin for last 10 years. It has hovered around 200 mark, but after this 4 weeks of fasting, it dropped to 160, and many other markers. And I was absolutely blown away. I had always read about these things, even believed that there is, some power to fasting. But as they say, seeing is believing. Seeing my numbers on paper where I saw dramatic transformation with my many of the markers, and not to ignore the fact that my sleep got better this during this period. I used to get these intermittent headaches, which went away. It was quite transformative. So I said, now I'm on to something. I really need to see where I can take this. So I've continued with that routine for last 10 weeks. I have lost 6 kg. Now, did I really need to lose those 6 kg? Probably not. But it does feel great. I am now at the lightest weight that I've ever been in last 25 years. And the good thing is I've lost a little bit of muscle, but not much. I'm still able to lift as much weight. On the my waist size has shrunk by I think one full size. That also makes me feel great. At Sparx, we aim to bring to you stories of exponential impact. We share in-depth analysis of what goes behind success stories. If you find our conversations interesting, you can join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can also listen to Sparx on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or any other audio platform of your choice. If you have any suggestions on who we should invite or what topics we need to cover, just let us know in the comments. We are always listening, looking for ways to improve, and keep getting better as we go along.